Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Natasya and my student identification number is 2040601026. I'm from local A2. Today I will discuss about coral reef ecosystem. First, we have to know what is a coral reef. Coral reefs are organisms that live on the bottom of the waters and are formed from limestone or CaCO3, which is strong enough to withstand the force of ocean wave. While the dominant organisms that live here are coral animals that have a limestone skeleton and algae, many of which also contain lime. Coral reefs are a group of coral animals that live in symbiosis with a type of algae called zooxanthellae. Coral reefs are included in the phylum Cnidaria class Anthozoa, which have tentacles. The class Anthozoa consists of two subclasses, namely Hexacoralia or Zoantharia and Octocoralia, both of which are distinguished by origin, morphology, and psychology. In this case, the coral colony is formed by thousands of small animals called polyps. In its simplest form, this coral consists of only one polyp, which has a tube-like body shape with a mouth located at the top and is surrounded by tentacles. To be able to grow well, coral reef need growth conditions. Coral reef can grow well in marine waters with a temperature of 21 degrees until 29 degrees Celsius. Can still grow at temperature above and below this temperature range, but growth will be very slow. That's why coral reefs are found in tropical waters such as Indonesia and also in subtropical area where warm currents flow from tropical area such as Florida, the United States, and the southern part of Japan. Coral need shallow, clean water that allows sunlight to be used by the zooxanthellae for photosynthesis. The growth of reef-building corals at a depth of 18 until 29 meters is very slow, but is still found to depth of more than 90 meters. Corals need heat salinity to grow, therefore around river mouths or beaches or around human settlement it will be slow because corals need waters with suitable saline levels to live. Coral reef habitats generally live on the beach or area that are still exposed to sunlight at approximately 50 meters below sea level. Some types of coral reef can live deep in the sea and do not need light, but the coral reef do not have a symbiotic relationship with zooxanthellae and do not form corals. There are several types of coral reef which are grouped into several sections, namely based on the location, which is divided into four. The first is ring reef. Ring or successive reefs develop on the majority of the coast or the large island. Its development can reach a depth of 40 meters, which grow upwards and outwards toward the high sea. In the process of development, this reef is circular in shape, which is marked by the formation of terrace or part of the coral deposit that surround the island. On-step terrace reef growth is curly direct vertical. Example, Bunaken, Sulawesi, Panaitan Island, Banten, Nusa Dua, Bali. The second, barrier reef. This coral reef is located a relatively far distance from the island, about 0.52 kilometers to the high sea, and is limited by waters with a depth of up to 75 meters. Sometimes it forms a lagoon or water column or water gap that reaches tens of kilometers wide. Generally, barrier reef grow around very large islands or continents and from this continuous cluster of coral islands. Example, Central Rock, Bintan, Rio Island, Spermonde, South Sulawesi, Bangga Island, Central Sulawesi. The third, ring coral reef or atoll. Ring-shaped coral reef that surround the boundaries of submerged volcanic islands so that there is no border with the mainland. According to Darwin, ring coral reefs are a continuation of barrier reef with an average depth of 45 meters. Example, Takabonerate, Sulawesi, Maratua, South Kalimantan, Dana Island, NTT, and Mapia, Papua. Flat coral reefs or patch reefs. Coral reef or patch reefs, sometimes referred as flat island. These reefs grow from the ground up to the surface and over geological time, helped from flat island. Generally, this island will develop horizontally or vertically with a relatively shallow depth. Example, Thousand Island, DKI Jakarta, Ujung Batu Island, Aceh. Furthermore, coral reef based on zoning are divided into two. First is reef facing the wind, in English windward reef. Windward is the side facing the direction of the wind. This zone begins with a reef slope facing the open sea. On the reef slopes, coral reef is abundant at depths of about 50 meters and is generally dominated by soft corals. However, at a depth of about 15 meters, there are often reef terracles that have a fairly high abundance of hard corals and coral strips leading towards island plains or reef slats. At the top of the reef terracles, there is a fairly existence reefs of coralline algae on the reef ridge, where the waves are strong. This R is known as the alga boon. Finally, the windward zone is terminated by a very shallow reeflet, the reef against the wind. The reef that is facing away from the wind, or leeward reef, is the side that is facing away from the direction of the wind. This zone generally has a stretch of coral reef that is narrower than windward reef and has a fairly wide stretch of lagoon. The depth of the goba is usually less than 50 meters, but the conditions are not ideal for coral growth due to a combination of wave factors and weak water circulation and greater sedimentation. Next, coral reef based on their ability to produce lime. First is hermatipic coral. Hermatic corals are corals that come from coral structures that are known to produce reefs, and their distribution is only found in the tropics. Hermatic corals have unique property, namely a combination of animal and plant traits, so that the direction of growth is always positive phototropic. Generally, this type of coral live in shallow coastal or sea waters, where the penetration of sunlight still reaches the bottom of the waters. The coral reef based on the shape of and place of growth. First is reef, massive deposit of limestone, especially calcium carbonate, which is mainly produced by coral animals and other biota, such as calcareous algae, which secrete lime, such as calcareous algae and mollusks. Construction of biogenic limestone, which is the basic structure of a coastal ecosystem. In the world of marine navigation, a reef is a marine ridge formed by limestone or including living coral in shallow sea. The second is coral, also called rock coral or stony coral, which is an animal from the order Scalarinetia, which is capable of secreting CaCO3. Rock corals belongs to the class Anthozoa, which is a member of the phylum Coelenterata, which only has a polyp stage. In the process of forming coral reefs, rock corals or Scalaritina are the most important constituents of coral reef building animals. Coral area colonial animals composed of tens or millions of individual called polyps. Examples of colonial creatures are sugarcane or bamboo, which consists of many segments. Coral reef, the main building blocks of reef structure, also known as hematopic corals or limestone-producing corals. Reef coral differ from soft corals that do not produce lime in contrast to rock, which is rock or volcanic rock. There are several functions and benefits of coral reef, such as coastal ecosystem protector. Coral reef will withstand and break the wave energy, thereby preventing abrasion and damage to the surrounding area. From a physical point of view, coral reefs function as coastal protector from erosion and abrasion. Hard coral structure can withstand waves and currents which reduce coastal abrasion and prevent damage to other coastal ecosystems such as seagrass beds and mangrove. Home to many kinds of creatures in the sea. Coral reefs are like oases in the desert for the ocean. Therefore, many animals and plants gather here to find food, spawn, raise their young, and take shelter. For humans, this means that coral reefs have enormous fishery potential both for their food sources and for their livelihoods. To estimate, a healthy coral reef can produce 25 tons of fish per year. That is about 100 million people in the world depend on coral reef for their livelihood. Coral reefs are a high storage or fisheries from 132 species of fish that have economic value in Indonesia. 32 species of which live on coral reef. Various types of reef fish become export commodities. Healthy coral reef will produce 3 until 10 tons of fish per square kilometer per year. As a source of medicine, on coral reef there are many chemicals that are thought to be drugs for humans. For now, there is a lot of research on the chemicals to be used to treat various diseases in humans. As a tourist attraction, good coral reef will attract tourists to providing an alternative income for the surrounding community. It is estimated that around 20 million divers dive and enjoy coral reef per year as a source of education, in this case as a natural laboratory to support education and research. There are various kinds of threats to coral reef, as we know, natural phenomena and various destructive actions of society threaten the health and existence of coral reef. Threats to coral reef are divided into two categories, namely threats from natural disasters and threats posed by humans. Threats posed by nature include storm damage, temperature change, while the threats caused by human activities are: first is the practice of arresting with poison with explosive morami. Second, sedimentation, pollution, and garbage. 3. Meaning 4. Unsustainable tourism practice. 5. Throw garbage into the sea and beaches that can pollute seawater. 6. Bring home or touch coral reef while diving. Just one touch can kill coral reef. 7. Waste of water. The more water is used, the more water is generated and discharged into the sea. 8. The use of artificial fertilizer and pesticide. No matter how far the farm is from the sea, chemical residues from artificial fertilizer and pesticide will eventually be washed into the sea as well. 9. Throwing and cross on the coast will accidentally damage the coral reef below. 10. The presence of coral reef predators such as a kind of Drupella snail. 11. Residential development. 12. Beach reclamation. 13. Pollution. 14. Fishing in the wrong way, such as using fish bomb. I think that's all for me, and I'm sorry if I make a mistake. Thank you for watching, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.